Hello and welcome to Skinterviews. I'm George.
And I'm Nathan.
Well, why would you start it off with my face not showing, Nathan? Is this how we're going to start today?
I can see you now.
Well, that's all that matters, that you can see me now. I can see you now. You look good.
You look good as well. What have you been up to, buddy?
Oh, you know, I've been at home. So today on Skinterviews, we've got a good friend of ours, a colleague, somebody from the industry, somebody we've known both for quite some time now in different capacities. His name is Kyle Robertson. Kyle Robertson is a district sales manager at Cynosure Inc. That's his beautiful face right there. How's it going, Kyle?
I'm doing fantastic, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome. Are you a fan of the show?
Yeah.
Are you a fan of the show?
Absolutely. Like when I heard this was happening, and it was with you too, I was like over the moon. I'm like, I really hope I get put on this show, and here I am.
Look at your dreams come true. Are you following us on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook?
Yes.
Because if you're not, we're going to have to virtually drop kick you.
All right. Yeah.
This interview will be over very fast.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Nathan, how did you first meet Kyle?
So I met Kyle probably about 5 or 6 years ago now. I was working for Allergan in the pharmaceutical industry, and we would often catch up on a Tuesday and Thursday afternoon with physicians and beer reps, basically, to play hockey and drink beer. And Kyle was repping for Molson at that time, and I was terrible on the ice, being a New Zealander living in Canada, with a lot of very good hockey players. Like a lot of the farmer reps were very, very solid hockey players. A lot of them had come from semi-pro or professional hockey. Kyle wasn't too bad on the ice himself, but he was actually one of the guys who took a bit of time out of his busy schedule to teach me how to skate a little bit better. And we were lucky enough to get on really well when we'd have beers afterwards. And he actually made the move first into this industry. And then a few months later, he sort of rang me up and sort of suggested I should come into this industry as well. And that's how I sort of ended up in the medical aesthetics industry. But yeah, enough of how I met Kyle. How did you first meet Kyle, George?
Kyle and I worked together. We were actually colleagues. So I was working at Salient Medical at the time, a distribution company. And I had Toronto West. Did I have West? Toronto West?
Yeah.
Or Toronto East? I think I had Toronto West, and Kyle had Toronto East. So we met working together, and we've been friends since.
Yeah. I didn't know anything about the aesthetic industry. And when I got my job, George was already there. And I remember like looking up who my colleagues are going to be. And I found George on Instagram or Facebook, and I was like, oh yeah, I could be working with the best looking guy I've ever seen.
That was a few years ago before I ate my way to today. So, well, not much has changed, boys. We're still having a beer all these years later. So cheers.
Yeah, which is great.
All right, Kyle. So let's get into the nitty gritty.
Okay.
What was your name, your full name, sorry, when you were born? Is it just Kyle Robertson, or is there a middle name?
It's Kyle Leonard Robertson, which...
Letter, like a letter that's written to someone?
No, like Leonard, like Leonardo.
Yeah. Kyle Leonard Robertson.
Yes, from my grandfather, who's also named Leonard. But to his... it's funny because like I've always strived to be as good. Like he is the most incredible man I've ever known. He's still alive today. He's incredible health, and yeah, he's just such a good person and a great person for me to model. Get his namesake. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So if you were to have maybe little footsteps in the future, would you continue that middle name forward?
Yeah, I never thought. Yeah, I would. This just it.
What city were you born in, Kyle?
What city?
Yeah.
Brampton, Ontario.
And today you live in?
Burlington.
Burlington, the B town.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
What did you go to?
What school?
Yeah.
I was kind of all over. I went to like Sacred Heart, then a place called Mentor College, and then I went to McMaster University for kinesiology.
Kinesiology. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
What was
And why didn't you follow a career path in that?
Well, I did. Kind of.
Well,
I mean, I meandered a little bit going into beer, and I started in beer.
I don't know how kinesiology and beer fit.
Yeah. So I started for Molson in university, and it was the cold shot rep, and it was like the time of my life. I would show up to parties, to keggers, with like literally like just my trunk full of cold shots. I would go to the beer store, I'd clean them out. They hated me because I just go in there and be like, I want everything you guys got. So I just load up like a pallet, put it in my back seat of my car, drive to a party, and just hand out cold shots. That was my job.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good job.
Yeah.
I might have to change my job.
Great. So talk a little bit about growing up, like brothers, sisters, and what were your relationships like with your parents and your siblings?
Yeah, I mean, great relationship. Like with my parents, my family. I have a younger sister. She's ahead of me now. She's married with one child. So I'm a uncle now and a godfather, so that's really exciting. Yeah, no, it's had a great upbringing. Like, yeah.
Is there a little bit of pressure on you now for footsteps as well? Because I know you've settled down a little bit with your recent girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, nothing in the near future, but you never know. Yeah. Quarantine gets crazy.
No pressure.
Yeah.
When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Ooh. I think like at one point I really wanted to be a doctor. That was like my thing. Or a computer programmer. It was either one or the other. Yeah. Or like any child growing up in Canada, I wanted to be an NHL player. But Nathan's seen my skills. So
I don't know about any child in Canada wanting to be an NHL player. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a garbage man. I swear to God.
Hey.
And I think you're like, why would you want to be a garbage man? I thought they were the coolest people in the world.
Yeah.
They hang off the back of a truck.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
So I was like, I want to be a garbage man. That's what I want to do. Right. So I wanted to, cosmetic dermatology.
That's the best looking guy hanging off that back of that truck. Damn.
Oh yeah.
Skin. So tell me about your first celebrity crush.
Ooh, good question. I don't know. Honestly, like, I'm not really great with celebrities, but I don't know. I'll put that back on you.
I wanted to be a garbage man. I wasn't good with celebrities either. So,
but Nathan, we're a celebrity, so you know what it's like. So it's not like celebrities are just people, right? So.
Nathan, who was your first celebrity crush?
I think it was maybe Britney Spears and Alicia Silverstone were the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely have a type.
Yeah, and I think I was a big fan of the girls off Dawson's Creek growing up as well. I think that was around the age where you kind of started getting interested in girls, and
yeah,
I wouldn't even know what their names are now. One of them married Tom Cruise, I think.
Oh, not Christina Aguilera.
Oh yes,
yeah, that was my girl.
That was Katie.
And Dirty, that music video. Yeah.
Speaking of Down and Dirty, let's go back a little bit to your hockey. Let's talk hockey for a bit, because you got to a reasonable level playing hockey. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I didn't really get to a reasonable level at all. My highest level was playing with Nathan in beer league, but it was really like the pints you drink afterwards. No, I honestly didn't play super level hockey. Like I have the jersey behind me, but it's not my. It was for work. It wasn't because I was any good.
Did you play any junior hockey? Like where were you in the junior hockey sort of?
Honestly, like nowhere. Like honestly, I loved hockey so much. I'd play all the time, but I was terrible.
So did you hang up the jersey for today's interview in the background?
Yeah. I bought this. Yeah, he dug up the tree from the backyard, put it next to me here.
It's such a shame what's happening to the senators right now, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't even know anymore. It's been, yeah, it's downward spiral. Yeah.
Very much so, yeah.
Tell me about your university life. What kind of a student were you?
There's two versions of me. So first year, I didn't get into kin. I was in psychology, and I really, really, really wanted to get into kin. So all I did was study in first year when everyone else made all their friends. So I went through university without really having any friends. No, I'm joking. But really, like, I didn't do any of the first year stuff because I was so one track mind to get into this program. So I like crushed my first year, like 90s on everything. But that was great because then it let me coast. So when I started working for Molson, I just coasted, but I had such a good GPA from that first year, so it made it a lot easier.
How long have you been at Cynosure now?
I've been at Cynosure for 3 years now.
Wow,
Yeah,
3 years already, eh?
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, you probably have the being a salesperson, you've got the elevator pitch, as we say, ready to go at any given time. What separates what you do at Cynosure from everyone else?
Yeah, that's a great question. Working with Salient and seeing other players in this space, I'm really excited on what we're building here with Cynosure, and my goal is to take on more and more of a leadership role in this company because I truly believe in what we're doing. So we truly partner with our physicians or business owners to ensure their success. And I know like every company, everyone you talk to is going to say similar things, but I'm very proud of my team. So I brought over one of my friends, like I've known since high school, to be in a support role for our company. So it's great knowing that, and he used to work at Deloitte as a consultant. So knowing that I can put him in place to properly support my customers post-sale, and he can hold their hand through the entire onboarding process. And Nick DiClemente has done incredible work. Like he's really even changed our internal structure of how we support our clients all across North America. So he's created this Cynosure success plan, and there's like 120 steps in there. Some of them are really basic, but for some of our physicians, they've never run a business like this before. They've never accepted money before, right? So we really need to make sure that we're getting all those steps accomplished to ensure that on the back end, they can be as successful as possible. So it's nice because usually within the first 3 to 6 months, our physicians or our clients feel so confident in what we've been able to do that they come back and buy more devices from us, which really show us that we are doing the right thing for our customers, and being able to support them with guys like yourself. So if I know that I'm getting a physician and he's just entering into aesthetics, it's scary. They are scared, but we make sure that we surround them with the right people, and having guys like yourselves being able to come in there and help them from the skincare side ensures their success even more so. So it's a very rewarding part of my job.
Nick's a really great guy. I've worked at a few events with Nick, and
Yeah.
He's super professional. He's really, really, really nice. He's just so easy to get along, and he's super knowledgeable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One thing about your profession that you wish people knew that they don't know?
Probably, yeah, that like what we're doing to people, like in terms of enhancing their own version of themselves or the beauty of themselves is a powerful tool. There's, I've had doctors and they've been like, I've been in medicine for 20 years and I've never had someone come up to me afterwards and hug me and thank me and, cry. It's like, that's like every day I woke up and this made me feel not confident in my own skin. And now that I feel confident, I go out and I'm in social engagements and like you break barriers when you increase people's ability to feel confident in themselves and their skin. So that's powerful. And I think something that, sometimes it's seen as a vain industry, but I disagree. I think we're really changing lives in a positive way.
I 100% agree with you there, because the first thing we do as humans when we wake up is we look in the mirror, right? And what we see really dictates our day and how we act. If we like what we see and it's a positive reaction, I think our first conversation with our partner, our children, we tend to get ready for work a lot quicker. We're more productive in the morning. We get out of the house, and what we do in this industry, I think, is really, really important for mental health and future health of everyone who partakes in this industry. I think it's really important. The other thing I'd like you to touch on, Kyle, is how hard you actually work in this industry, because I see you work and you take it to another level when it comes to work ethic. So talk us a little bit about through that and how much sacrifice you make, not just for Cynosure, but your clients as well.
Yeah, and it's funny, like I joke about being a beer rep, but when you work for Molson, it was known that your personal life becomes your work life. Everything I did at Molson, I was working. You know, it was fun. We went out to events and things like that, but like it really cemented the mix. So like my view is work is life, but make it positive, make it fun. Doing things like this, engaging with such phenomenal people. We have incredible people in this industry. We have incredible partners, business partners, and like the best part about my job is when we go to like CAM or other big aesthetic summits and we all get together and we all just have such a good time. But in terms of, yeah, I mean, like what we're able to do for our physicians and how rewarding and engaging that is. What was the second? I got so excited about that.
Just really how hard you work in this industry. Really.
Oh, right. Yeah. See,
Drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. You keep bringing it back to Molson and drinking. This is going to worry me.
Yeah. But yeah, being able to properly support our clients, it like all it takes is you not being there for a customer one time, and that's it. That could cost you the entire relationship. So again, myself and my team, it's not just me. We really value that component of having our clients successful. And at Cynosure, we don't just have one or two products, right? So we have over 20. So a lot of times there's almost like a graduation, or there's other items on the menu that they can add to their aesthetic practice. But once they know, like, hey, these guys really support me, and now I can grab this part of the menu, put it in my buggy, and this is going to bring me this level of revenue, I'm game for that. Like that's the part of the job that's really rewarding. But like that's why you work so hard for these clients, because they'll come back and they'll buy more from you, which is, you know, the rewarding piece.
So you touched on something there that I want to ask. Do you feel that there is an unfair pressure on you from people in the industry, that because what we do, because we're in sales, because we're, you know, selling higher ticket items, especially at Cynosure, do you feel that there is an unfair pressure that you have to always be around? And in some cases that relationship can be so volatile because there's such a large exchange of, you know, dependency on money and how to run the business and getting them involved. Do you feel that at times there's like an unfair pressure on you that way?
But I take it on knowingly, so it doesn't feel unfair. But I have learned in this role to better manage expectations. And I think, you know, rewinding back to when I was with Salient and working with you, George, I would take on as much as possible and I try to please everyone. And what I found was I set myself up to fail. So knowing now, learning how to set proper expectations, because I think a lot of times with clients is when their expectations are set so high, you just can't rise up to it at all times. But if they know, you know, exactly, like you just follow through on what you promise. So just not trying to overpromise and underdeliver has been a big thing in the last 2 years I've really been developing.
Awesome. Nathan, what do you think? Hey. Nathan's deep in really deep thinking about it.
I am thinking about it.
I have had way too much beer. And the dog decided to come for a visit.
Oh, hey!
There he is. So talk us through your everyday sort of what you do. What's the first thing you think about when you wake up, and then how do you sort of go about your day when you're like work day, should I say?
Yeah. So this is like the unhealthy part of me, but also where I've been successful is I wake up and I'm thinking, like, the immediate thing I do. Well, now it's I got a really nice new coffee maker, so I go and make myself fresh espresso and sit down and like I just get on my computer and just start working right away, which isn't great. I do see that there's power to wake up and, you know, go for a run or go for a bike ride or do something athletic. I just don't do that. But yeah, and then, just dream work, sleep, like right before sleep, think about work. I just think about George and Nathan, just yeah.
Wake up and I think about George and Nathan too.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room then. Like, obviously, this virus, COVID-19, Corona, whatever you want to call it, it's been pretty scary. Talk us through what you've been up to in isolation. Like, how have you found it, and what have you been doing to keep yourself busy?
Yeah, I mean, in sales, there's always the pressure to do more, and a lot of it's like pressure I put on myself. So the first thing I felt was a sense of relief. It's like, well, now I can't really do a whole lot in the sales process. So what now, right? Like, George has lived in that world, or well, like in the capital game where, it's a lot of pressure on trying to get equipment sold. And again, it's a lot of money. So, you're just constantly living in this mindset of like, where is this next? Like, you're really truly hunting constantly. And having a break from that was nice for the first part. But then I realized that it's just as busy because, you're at home and now you have the opportunity to chat with individuals you never had an opportunity before. They were just too busy with their own clinic. So in all honesty, I'm probably just as busy. I'm running probably the same, if not more volume, just because I can actually chat virtually with more people. So, and in supporting clients, there's a lot of support stuff on the back end, which has been great. So we're retooling and reinvigorating some of our customers now, which is a good timing.
Yeah. And so that leads me on to, from a personal point of view, like, what have you learned from this virus, and what do you think you're going to do differently in life after this stage we go through passes and we get back to what will be the new normality for all of us?
You know what? Virtual meetings has really impressed. Like Sales 101, it's like you need to be in person to get the deal done, right? And I think this has taught me that you don't need to do that. You can actually get a lot done virtually. So not having to impact, like just the cost on the environment, just even driving around and things like that. Like if I can, instead flying to Sudbury, handle that meeting virtually, but still be in the same capacity. Because I think what we're doing right now is we're eroding, or I guess we're demonstrating how easy it is to build confidence in scenarios like this, where I see your expression, and it's not crazy to think that we couldn't do this instead of meeting in person. So I think there's going to be a lot more accessibility to people or individuals that otherwise were much more difficult to get in front of.
Awesome. Let's lighten it up a little bit. Because it got pretty heavy there for a bit.
Yeah.
So we're going to show some photos of like you growing up. But before we show those photos, I'd like to know, what was the last song you sang in the shower?
That's a good song. It's like Rice and Peas. It's like, yeah, it's like jam rock. It's like, it's good. Yeah, you gotta.
You gotta sing it a little bit.
Yeah, come on, sing it. Give us a line or the chorus or something.
It's like rice and peas, please. Rice and peas, please. What's that rice and peas?
Okay, so I'm just going to bring up some photos. After that rice and peas episode, I'll bring up some photos and talk us through these. So,
is that you with a mullet?
Yeah, let's talk through that one first. The one outside the Molson truck, or whatever you want to call that, when you've got a mullet there.
Yeah. Like, I mean, this is like a quick snapshot of my life. Eating. Nick's gonna like this one because he always makes fun of me for eating too much. But yeah, that's me at I think it's a Ticats game, Hamilton Tiger Cats game. Setting up, that's the beer can I used to set up before every game. And I would just sit out front, drink beer, and eat hot dogs. That's pretty much it.
You look like a lumberjack with a mullet.
Yeah. That was the life I was coming out of.
I kind of want to be that guy right now. It looks pretty sweet.
Yeah. And then the one above it, I just love that shot. I think it's like, yeah, it's just, that's my free spirit, you know, and it just encapsulates my, then the top right there, I just love that. So that's me and my best friend, Tyler. We're still best friends to date. We see each other, talk to each other like all the time. We knew each other for like 30 days old. So it's pretty cool having a life companion that way. Yeah, that just demonstrates like that wild nature in me just kind of out there was with the 90s style was always apparent.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Were you a good kid growing up? Like, were you well behaved, or were you like on the other side of things, a little bit of a risk taker?
I was actually like nicknamed the Pope in grade 7 because I was like such a goody two shoes. But I always love to be the center of attention, which is I think why I'm in sales. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Cool.
So, tell me, who's your first love?
Whew. I would be like,
and where are they today?
oh, I don't know. It was in high school. It was like a high school, like first time ever experiencing any emotions, and it was like, whoa.
Do you know where she is today?
No, I think no. I think she's working for like a think tank. Like she's a really smart girl and she's doing like really good in the world. I just
blocked you, eh? She blocked you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I've really been trying to figure it out.
So mental health awareness is a pretty serious topic, and we see a lot of stuff on the rise about it constantly in the media today. And we're made much more aware that it affects us, all of us, in a different capacity. What are some of the things you do to battle stress, to battle pressure, to battle days where you don't want to get out of bed and go to work, and just balance it all?
Yeah. This is a really important piece, and I'm glad you guys brought it up because I feel almost the biggest enemy in sales, and something that no one appreciates, your customers don't appreciate it, is the mental toll that your own expectations put on you. And there's been some pretty dark times. Like last year, I was like a month and a half. I had such bad migraines because I felt such intense pressure to perform. It was really hard for me to work, and I was very nervous to tell anybody about it because I didn't want that to be like, oh, well, he's not working hard. Or I don't know. I just didn't want any negative things to come out of it because I thought maybe it would make it worse because I was just trying to get my mind out of a funk. But yeah, I mean, it was a really, really tough time. But like, I completely get it. There's times where, it gets really dark, and every year I think I get a little bit stronger and just realizing it's important to try and take breaks. And I try and take a big vacation to go somewhere really fun when things get really dark, which is usually around this, time, usually February-ish. So that's been helpful, and just trying to work out more. So being active, I do a lot of biking, cycling. So yeah.
Not to put any companies not to put anybody specific on the chopping block in that sense, but thinking about that, coming from sales, coming from a very competitive background, a sports background, a lot of people in our industry, a lot of our colleagues, they're hired because of their competitive sport background, right? Do you find that HR or companies in general are at a position to be able to accept that, you know what, the stress is getting to me and I need some time, I need to step back? Or do you still think it's frowned upon? Like when people bring that up and they're like, you know what, I'm not in a good headspace right now. And they're like, well, that's an excuse because your sales are down. Do you feel that people are ready to start accepting it more? Do we still need to be having the conversations without just a roundabout way and patting people on the back in a condescending manner? Are we ready to make those changes? Are companies taking the right steps?
Yeah, I mean, I hope that they are. I mean, just speaking about my immediate position with Cynosure, something where we've been I've seen certain examples where they've been very understanding, which has been great. But at the end of the day, I agree with you in that there's people that are going to go hot and cold and just respect and support it. Could there be more done? Absolutely. And, even for myself going, I went to go see, it was actually like a sports psychologist, almost like he was like a performance coach, but it was like my nice way between like going to some sort of therapy, but also having like a performance tie into it. And I found that incredibly helpful, just having someone to talk to and like working through any issues that I went through. So I highly, and I think companies need to do a better job, maybe even put money towards that, because if you can get into a better mental health state, you're going to be a much more impactful employee as well.
I love that.
I love that too. And that's the hard thing is us salespeople is, I think what people don't understand is at the end of each month, we start at zero again, or at the end of each quarter, we start at zero again. And it's, you have like one night to celebrate a certain period, and then the next morning you wake up and you're back to zero again. It's daunting, right? Because we go out there and we fight for everything we can get, and then we have to go do better the next year over and over again. And it's what we live for, what we dream to do.
Yeah.
But sometimes I agree with you. Sometimes you can find yourself in some dark places. And thank you so much for like sharing and opening up with us about that. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And like you guys, I mean, the tough thing too is that with our customers, you can't even talk to them about it, because then they'll feel like you're being, it's too much. So yeah, I mean, that's where it's great to have guys like yourselves and we've really built, and we've all individually built up great relationships in the industry. And everyone used to think of this industry as being super catty and like, oh, like everyone's out for one another. But like, I really feel like now, like, we support one another, which is a great place to be in. So it's nice.
Yeah, that's what I love about this industry. That brings me on to like the next question. So you're in a position where you're moving into sort of like leadership in the company, or you're looking to go into leadership in the company. For someone who's maybe younger, wanting to come into this industry or just started in this industry, what is Cynosure, or what is someone like yourself looking for in great talent coming into this industry, or just starting in this industry if you were looking to hire?
Yeah, I mean, there's the entry role it's tough. It's a hard role. And I just know from going back to when I was doing it, like with sailing and learning from George, and like George, like I haven't done enough in thanking you, because I only like what I know about this industry was just riding around in a car with George and him telling me like, oh yeah, like this is how life works. So if I didn't have George leading me through, I definitely wouldn't be here today. So thank you.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I think just passion and energy. Whenever I'm hiring somebody or I'm looking for a new role or what makes you passionate about it? And if I can't feel that passion and that energy in that interview, or like as they're in that role, like that's what I want to see, because I am incredibly passionate. You guys are incredibly passionate about what you do. And that makes going to work more fun. It makes it more fun to be on a team. So like that's the main part, is passion and energy.
I love that.
I love it too. All right. We are getting towards the end of our interview, so we're going to fire off some quick questions. You got to answer them. Don't spend too much time thinking about them, okay? Like,
all right.
Top of your head. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Red or blue?
Red.
Black or white?
Black.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Nathan or me?
Ooh. George.
All right. Favorite drink?
Beer.
Mom or dad?
Oof. Mom. I have to say mom.
What was the last lie you told your girlfriend?
What was the last lie?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh. She's like right behind me, man.
What are you doing down there?
Yeah, and I'm doing an interview right now. That's the last lie.
Come on, what was the last lie you told your girlfriend?
I don't know. I don't. I'm trying to think. I'm not a.
Come on, Kyle. You know what? You know what bothers me about this, Nathan? He has not once said, "I don't lie to her." Which one am I allowed to say on here? All right. Well, let's go on that one. Tell us about your skincare routine.
So, well, I need to be a little bit better, granted.
All right.
But thanks to you guys, the signature kit with the CE peptides, really like that. That's good.
That's quite a good answer.
It's nice for guys because we can't think too much, right? It's like, here you go. This is what you need to do. Don't do other things. So
I like that. And just I want to get some points back. So I've got 2 more questions because George is killing me here. You're in isolation for 12 weeks. If you could pick one person, who would you take with you? Could be anyone. Pardon?
Out of you two?
No, anyone.
You already picked
anyone. I mean, I'd say, I don't know. I think it would be one of you two guys because, like, we actually have so much fun.
Okay, I'll rephrase the question then. You can only pick one of us two, and you've got 12 weeks to be in isolation. You can't leave the house. Who would it be, George or Nathan?
I think it'd be Nathan because because Howie would kill me, man. Have you seen how ripped he is?
Have you seen how ripped Zuza is?
True.
All right. Well, honestly, Kyle, it's so great having you on here. Thank you so much for being a part of this. I'm sorry that you lied to your girlfriend.
Yeah. Oh my.
And I'm gonna be sure to send this interview to her, so she's gonna just sit there and pick off which one it was. You know.
All right.
Probably gonna see peptides too, for sure, just to teach you a lesson.
Yeah. No, it's been great, Kyle. We really appreciate you opening up because it's not easy, and this is the time to do it while we're in isolation. I think as an industry, we need to get behind each other, show that we're a strong industry with amazing players in this industry and amazing personalities. And that's what makes this industry so special and such a great place to work in, no matter whether you're industry, a physician, a nurse, a medical esthetician. This is what it's about. It's time for us to get around each other.
One final question of the night.
Yeah.
Who would you recommend to be on our show next?
Yes.
Ooh. I love Jean-Francois Saint-Amour. He's like, what a name! That's like the most incredible name. Best name in the industry. George Scandals, that's pretty good too.
Do you think he's the tallest man in the world?
Yeah. I think he is.
He must have won a Guinness record or something like that.
Yeah.
He's pretty tall. All right, well, we'll reach out to him. We'll tell him that you said he would do it, and we'll try to get him on the show.
All right.
So, thanks for being on today. Thanks for watching Skinterviews by Nathan and George. Make sure to check us out. Follow us on Instagram, _skin_guy, at Nathan Strom, and of course at skin.terviews. If you think somebody should be on our show, make sure you send us a message so that we can actually invite them to be on here. And if you have any good ideas for questions you want to ask industry insiders, we can ask them for you. Thanks for watching today again. Take care.